Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to all my Muslim brothers and sisters, and hello to everybody else that's watching. So this morning we're going to talk about when I first came to America. When I first came to America, I stayed in Queens for 2 weeks and I saw how nice New York was, and it was so busy. So when I came to New York, now I was supposed to go in Florida to stay with my father. So when I went there to stay with him, I saw how busy it was in New York, and I wanted to go back there because Florida was nothing compared to New York. And I asked my family members that were living here, both of my aunts, and both of them said no. One of my aunts said her son wanted her privacy, and there's not enough space to keep somebody else. And then my other aunt said, no, I came to New York to stay with my parents, with my father, so I have to stay there, that they can't keep me. But then I remember that somebody wanted a babysitter from back home that I know, and I called her, and she said, yeah, I can do the babysitting job, and she'll buy my ticket. So I accepted the offer. When I left home, I had only $30 in my pocket. The $30, I used it to pay the taxi. I was supposed to tip the girl, the taxi girl, something for taking me to the airport, and she said no. So on my way to New York, I met a really nice lady from Columbia University, and we made friends. When we made friends and the plane landed, she was struggling with her suitcase, and I helped her with her suitcase, and she gave me $20. And the lady said that she was going to pay me back the taxi money if I take a taxi from JFK to the house that I have to go to. Then when I went there, she didn't give me back the money. She said she was going to give me back the taxi money. So we had an agreement that I can only work 8 o'clock to 2 o'clock, and I have to find a job, and she's going to give me $50 a week for doing the babysitting job, because I wouldn't be paying rent, and that will cover the lodging and whatever you guys call it, boarding. So then I went to Manhattan and I shared out flyers looking for a job and stuff, and then I saw a place called Party City. When I went to Party City now, the guy said that they're not hiring right now, but I can apply online. So then I went home and I used the computer and I applied for a job for the Party City in Manhattan, but one right in Brooklyn had called me. So then when I went there, it was a Guyanese man who was the general manager. Then when I did the interview now with him, I saw people coming in and I started getting nervous because I didn't know how to react around white people. It was my first time experiencing white people and stuff. So then I didn't know how to do the interviews, so I started to stutter and make a lot of mistakes. And I said, you know what happened? I don't know how to do this interview. I don't know what to say. All I need is a job. And the Guyanese man feels sorry for me and he gave me the job. The minimum wage at that time was $7.50, and he gave me $9.50. But when he gave me the $9.50, he felt like he could say what he wanted to me and do whatever he feel like, and I have to obey him because he did me a favor. When I started the job, he was rushing me to learn as fast as I can. It wasn't even a week yet, and he kept cursing at me over the walkie like, hurry up, take the line down. I started off as a cashier. Then one of my friend, my good friend, we weren't friends back then, but one of the worker, a girl, her name is Jessica. She couldn't take it anymore with the insult that he was telling me over the walkie. So her and another co-worker, another white girl, the manager at that time, an ex-manager, they confronted him and said they don't like how he's treating me. So he stopped cursing at me and everything, and after 6 months he left the job. When he left the job after the 6 months, I became a supervisor. From a supervisor, I became the manager for the store, so I was a manager for 5 years working with Party City. Then my cousin kept telling me to come into banking because they're all into banking. My whole family, they're into banking. So they wanted me to get into that field also. So they kept encouraging me to come into the bank. So eventually I moved in the Bronx after the contract was over because she wanted me to pay $600, the lady that I was staying with, to stay on the sofa. So I said, no, I'm not going to pay $600 to sleep on the sofa because I can get a room for that price. So I left there and I came into the Bronx for 3 years more. And I couldn't take the traveling. The traveling was 3 hours going and 3 hours coming back into the Bronx. So I decided to apply for the bank job. When I applied for the bank job, it was like a blessing in disguise because I resigned with immediate effect at my job at Party City because the district manager was racist towards me, and the Apple Bank called me the same time, and they said they're gonna start me off at $16 an hour. So at Party City, the last pay increase I had was $16.50. So in order to get the bank job, they're gonna start me off with $16 an hour. So I take the 50 cent cut, and I came. For that whole year, the 50 cents did affected me because that's 50 cents per hour taken away from my salary. But I didn't regret it because now I have a really good position within the bank. I'm getting triple times than what I was getting paid at Party City, and I don't regret ever leaving that job now. So it all happened for the best. I did have a hard time here. Sometimes when I had to pick that girl up from school, from the time my job finished at 2 o'clock, I had to rush home because the bus reaches home at 3 o'clock and it takes me 1 hour to get home. So sometimes the bus wouldn't come or the train wouldn't work and I had to walk home. And then sometimes I will be rushing home and the school bus get accustomed to me that they know me. So they will wait a little bit, but if I take too long, they'll take the child to some holding center until the parents pick them up. And it was really hard for me because my manager didn't want me to work with 82 hours because it was impossible for me to work that shift. But they did it for me because the Guyanese guy tried to help me, and when he left, they kept that schedule for me. They didn't change it. Eventually, I started working full time when I became the manager. So I worked double the hours and everything when I was working at Party City. But I did love it. I did love Party City. It was a nice place to work, but it had a lot of racist people. But now I'm in a better place. I have a really good job and I don't regret. Anyway, I'm running late. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.